Hey everybody, it's Greg Miliatis from StartMyConsultingBusiness.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about a story of personal transformation, and at the end I'm going to ask for your help with something that you have been asking me about. So let's get going. So back in 1999, I got hired at a software company. It was a startup company, even though I had very little technical experience, and it was kind of a fun, quirky, and interesting company, but it was a few years after that it was acquired by a Fortune 1000 company. Now, after the acquisition, things started changing. Management changed, the corporate culture changed, got a lot less fun, and things really started to go downhill in a pretty big way. And a lot of people were really pretty dissatisfied with it, myself included. So one of the things that really made it kind of a lousy environment, a really stressful environment for myself and a lot of the other folks who were there, was my boss in particular. And within about the space of 14 to 18 months, everybody on her team quit, including me, and lots of other people who had been there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years. I had been there almost 8 years. So it was a really stressful thing. And I remember, for example, one time we were in a team meeting, and she called me out and sort of accused me of missing a prior meeting for excessive sick time. Never mind that I had never taken a sick day in my life until my kids started daycare. And now the actual reason I missed the prior meeting was to attend my father-in-law's funeral. So it was that kind of thing that was going on. It was extremely stressful. If there was something at my kids' school or if they were sick that I wanted to attend or take care of them, I felt stressed if I was missing work. And then if I was at work instead of with my family and doing this stuff with my kids or taking care of my kids, I felt guilty about it. So it was really a no-win situation. It was extremely stressful. So like a lot of people these days, I didn't like my job. And I've read surveys that consistently show about 80% of people don't like their jobs. They're dissatisfied with their jobs. About 80%, that's huge. So I was, of course, one of those people. And as a result, I complained, and I complained a lot. After a while, though, I got tired of hearing myself complain and do nothing, take no action to change the situation. So I started thinking about an exit strategy for this lousy job that I had. But I didn't want to just get another job. I knew it was just going to be same thing, different day. What I wanted to do is I wanted to do something different that was going to transform my life, that was going to give me more freedom, more flexibility, hopefully earn more. And I had this dream about what I wanted to do, or the kind of lifestyle that I wanted to have. I had this dream of working for myself, maybe working at home or in a coffee shop or wherever I wanted to, whenever I needed to or wanted to, and having a lot more flexibility, having the freedom to spend more time with my family, and really earn what I thought I was worth. So that was kind of the vision that I had. So I started doing some reading, and I read about starting a business, and it sounded really good in theory, but I had this mental block. I thought that I wasn't the kind of person who could ever start a business and be successful at it. I thought that the kind of people who started businesses and were successful at it were people who were really hard-charging, hard-driving go-getters, who were high achievers and were really, sort of type A personalities. And that's not, I still don't think of myself as that kind of person. I tend to be fairly laid back about a lot of stuff. So, but anyway, around the same time, like I said, there was this mass exodus of people quitting this on our team and at the company. I saw some of my former colleagues who had quit start doing consulting. So I knew that there was a market for it. I knew that there was a need for consultants doing this kind of stuff that I knew how to do. And I knew that there were other people like me who were doing it and being successful at it. And that was really the thing that changed my mind and got me to think seriously about trying consulting, is that I saw other people who were like me who were doing it and being successful at it. So the problem was that I still got stuck in this reading and research phase, and I kept thinking about, well, how do I do this, and what do I need to do, and what tasks do I need to do first, and what are the most important things I need to get started on. And then I ended up wasting a ton of time and a bunch of money on really low-value tasks, things like designing brochures and business cards and thinking of a name for my company and things like that, instead of taking action on the things that would really generate revenue, bring in clients, and get me work and bring the money in. So in any case, fast forward to January 2007, I quit that job at the software company, and I had already gotten a job at a nonprofit. So I quit the job at the software company, started the next day job at the nonprofit, and at the same time, that same month, I filed the incorporation paperwork for my business to start my consulting business. So far so good. It was sort of a long road in the making, years of me thinking of doing this stuff, and then finally doing it, finally filing the incorporation paperwork and making it official. So after that, I was working at this new job, this new day job at a nonprofit full time. And I made some marketing calls to some former clients trying to get some work and see if I could get some consulting work and some income. And all the clients, they were very friendly, they were very polite, they wished me well, but it didn't pan out into any consulting work. And not ever having been a salesperson, I wasn't used to rejection like this, and it was really discouraging. And just the thought of making more of these calls to try to drum up work was just really aversive. I just didn't want to do it. It's not something that I wanted to do. Calling and then get rejected again. No, that sounds great, but we don't have anything for you. Sorry. So it was really discouraging early on. But one day I got a call from one of my former colleagues, someone who had started doing consulting a while earlier, and she asked me if I could help her out with a client of hers. So I jumped at the chance. I said, sure, absolutely, absolutely. So I did the work, and then several weeks later I checked the mail, and I got a check in the mail. And I opened up the check, and I still remember standing at the mailbox after I had ripped open the check, looking at the check thinking, they paid me this much to do something so easy. And this was stuff that I had done, that I'd been doing for years. So it was easy. It wasn't very difficult work. But I remember thinking, they paid me this much to do something so easy. And at that moment, I was hooked. It just seemed like something clicked for me that I could really do this. I could really make money at this, and this was really something that I could do. So over the next several months, what I started doing was networking with some other colleagues, getting some additional clients from them, doing some additional marketing stuff on my own that would slowly bring in more clients and more consulting work. So I gradually built up the consulting part-time, like I mentioned in a prior video. I did it part-time, working early in the morning, working on my lunch hour, where I'd go in my car and park outside of a Starbucks or a library so I could get on the free Wi-Fi and make a client call on my phone while I was on my laptop in the car. Or I'd go out into my garage early in the morning in the car to make a phone call to a client so, my kids wouldn't be in the background shouting and, tearing up the house. And work late at night or whatever I needed to do the consulting work. So I was doing this part-time. It was kind of a challenge to juggle the day job, the full-time day job, the part-time consulting, the family stuff. But the extra money was really exciting. I was getting these checks for like $500, $1,000, sometimes over $3,000 as I started growing my business. It was really exciting. And at some point I realized that the time that I was spending at my day job at the nonprofit was limiting how much I could earn consulting. So at that point I went and I talked to my boss at the nonprofit. He was a really good guy, and mentioned what was going on. And so he agreed to let me go part-time. So I went part-time. At the same time, I started ramping up my marketing efforts to get more clients, more consulting work, getting more consulting work, ramping that up. And in about 3 months' time, I quit the day job with the nonprofit and was doing consulting full-time. So it was a really amazing transition. Now, that transition, I should say, a lot of people, when they think about quitting their job to start a business, first of all, you don't want to do that unless you've got a lot of work already. I totally recommend doing the part-time consulting first, so you build that up and you've got this track record of success before you quit your day job. It makes it much less stressful. I tend to be a pretty cautious person, and so the thought of quitting my full-time job to start a business, it seemed insane, and I still think that that's an extremely risky way to do it. So don't do that. Just start business part-time, grow it until you can let the day job fall by the way and do your consulting full-time. So as a result, since I started my consulting business, and really since I went full-time with it, there have been a number of things that I've been able to achieve. I've been able to quadruple my former salary, not just double, but quadruple my former salary, and my income, my revenue continues to go up steadily every year. So I've quadrupled my former salary. I've got way more flexibility and freedom than I ever had at any other day job. I've got a lot more financial security than I ever had. And the reason for that financial security is because I rely on on multiple clients, many clients, dozens of clients, for my income instead of a single employer. So it makes me much more financially secure than I ever was when I had a day job. The other thing that it's given me is that it's made my lifestyle much more stress-free. I shouldn't say stress-free, but less stressful. I used to be really stressed about my job and trying to do everything that I needed to do, and if I had to do work instead of be with my kids, or feeling guilt about not being with my kids and taking care of them when they were sick instead of and then being at work. I had all this stress, and I don't have that now. I don't complain now. I continually see new opportunities. It's really actually very exciting. Another thing that I found as a benefit has been that it's actually extremely empowering to run my own business and be successful at it. And I can see the daily actions that I take having an effect on what I achieve and the revenue that I earn. It's extremely empowering in a way that I never felt when I at any other job that I had as an employee. So it's another benefit of being a consultant is that it's very gratifying to be able to help your clients. You can help improve their lives, make their jobs easier, improve their businesses. So it's really gratifying to be able to help other people. So the changes that I've been experiencing have really transformed my life, both for myself and the way that I see the world, but also for my family, and and that's something that I'm passing along to my kids, which is really exciting. So why did I create this blog? I created it as a result of a couple of things that I was seeing. So several years ago, I had a conversation. I went out to lunch with a couple of friends of mine, and we went to lunch at this Chinese restaurant, and we're all talking about work. They were on their lunch break from work, and I was, on my lunch break, quote unquote, from work, since my schedule is whatever I want it to be. And we're talking at lunch about work, and these are guys who have experience. They're smart guys, and they were asking me about my consulting business, how I got started, and I was talking about that. And what I was hearing from them is that the thought of starting a business was kind of scary. Feeling like they were going to make mistakes or going to fail. And they also had a lot of questions that they didn't have answers for about how to start a consulting business. What would they need? What kind of expenses would they have? How would they get clients? What were they going to charge? All these unanswered questions. And so I realized that the experience that I had in creating and building my own profitable consulting business could help other people, number one, avoid the mistakes that I made and the time and money that I wasted when I started out, but also to help shorten the amount of time that it would take you to start your own consulting business by avoiding some of those same mistakes and then focusing on high-value tasks that would really get you results a lot faster. So, and a third piece was about those fears and getting past those fears, identifying and getting past those fears that really prevent you from taking the actions that you want to take or that you need to take to create the kind of lifestyle that you may have dreamed about. And you may not have the yacht and the diamond toothbrush as part of your lifestyle, a dream. You may, who knows? But you need to take actions that are going to move you toward the kind of lifestyle that you want. And so those fears and those doubts, those misgivings, those hesitations are things that are going to prevent you from taking those actions and moving you down that road toward your dream. So the goal with the blog when I started was to help other people really transform their lives by creating their own business. What I wanted to do is help you create the kind of transformation in your life that I've been able to achieve and that I used to think was unrealistic, that I thought I could never do it. So that's why I started this blog. So since I started the blog, I've seen just an outpouring of interest in the topic. There have been tens of thousands of people across the world from over 160 countries who have been reading the blog. It's truly incredible. And along the way, I've been featured on sites like Yahoo Finance, CNBC, and top sites like Tech Republic, Lifehack, Alltop. And it's been incredible, the outpouring of interest. What's also been really gratifying and very touching is when you guys have sent me emails saying how I've helped inspire you to take action to start creating these amazing changes in your own life. It's truly incredible. So what's the next step? Now, I know that you want to make changes in your life. We all want to make changes in our lives. Maybe you've got a day job that you're dissatisfied with. You want to figure out how to quit it. What's your exit strategy? Maybe you already started your consulting business, but you're not getting the kind of results that you want. You've been kind of frustrated, maybe discouraged, kind of like I was when I first started, not getting any clients or not being able to charge as much as you think that your services are worth. And you want to take your business to the next level, but you're not sure how to do that. So the fact is, we all want to make changes in our lives. Maybe you want to just earn more money. Maybe you want more freedom, more flexibility, whatever it is, you want to make changes in your life. And one of the cool things about consulting is that you already have marketable skills, and there's virtually unlimited opportunities for consulting in the world. It's really amazing. So a lot of you have been asking me asking me for help on a number of issues. So maybe you're not sure that you can succeed. You doubt whether you can succeed or how to get started, or you're afraid of failing. Maybe you think you might need special credentials or that you need a pile of money to start your consulting business. Maybe you don't know that you need to define a niche for yourself or how to go about doing that so you can charge more, have less competition, and have an easier time finding clients. Maybe you don't know how to find and land clients and have them see the value that you offer so that it ties in with what they want. Maybe you don't know how much to charge or how to create a proposal or an estimate and do those sorts of things. So those are all things that are part of creating a successful and profitable consulting business that can really transform your life. Now, when I first started my consulting business, I realized there were a lot of business startup resources out there, and the problem with what I found with that and what I've heard from other people is that those generic resources don't tell you how to start a consulting business. They're just generic. They don't tell you what you need to do for a consulting business. How do you get clients? How do you define your niche? How do you figure out what your rate is? All those kind of specific questions that you need to know to create your profitable, successful consulting business. So people have asked me about what specifically they need to do those things. And so I've been answering some of those questions, but I've realized that there's a need for a systematic program that will help walk people through how to do those tasks. So that's kind of where we're going here. And so what I'm thinking of doing is building a free resource kit for you guys and to kind of help you jumpstart your business. And part of what I'm thinking of putting in that is a recorded interview with me about how I got my start, how I got my first clients, specifically how I did that, how I figured out how much to charge, and some of the marketing secrets that I've discovered over the years as I've grown my business. One of the other things that I'm thinking of including in the free resource kit are some videos and worksheets that will help you take action on specific tactics to grow your business. And the third thing I was thinking about including in that is a list of essential tools that you can use to automate and grow your consulting business. So this free resource kit is something that I've been thinking about doing and that you guys have been asking me about, and so I want to give you guys what you want. But the catch is that there's a catch to it. So if you read the Macaroni and Cheese article, the prior post to this one, I talked about being a perfectionist, and if I'm going to do something, I want to make it really good. I'm going to go all in on it. It's going to be amazing. But I want to make sure that you guys are interested in it before I take this time and expend all this energy to create something really cool. So what I'm doing is I'm making a list of everyone who's potentially interested in this free resource kit and getting in at the start of this project. So if you're interested, fill out the form below with your email address and click sign up, and let's get started on this. And I'm thinking if there's at least a couple of hundred people who are interested in this free resource kit, then I'll make it and I'll send it to you, no charge, totally free, and let's get going on this thing. So I'm really excited about it because you guys have been telling me what you've been interested in, but I just want to gauge the interest before I take all this time to do it. So if you're interested, go ahead and sign up, and thanks for listening, and we'll talk soon. Thanks.